Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Alex, and today I am going to be doing a video answering some of the things that you guys overlook as a newbie when you're getting into hotshot trucking. Now, really quick, I've been going through a lot of my messages, and I realized there's a pattern in the messages. And so if I sent you this video in the message, please watch it all the way through. There's really something that I'm going to talk about that probably is that you just asked about. Now, let's talk about this quit your 9 to 5 and get into hotshot title, right? So, I mean, it's a little bit hyperbole, right? But I do want to explain that it's interesting, like looking at it now, right? We're kind of on the back end maybe of a bunch of stuff, but looking into it now, you can clearly see that even though rates took a dive, right? Rates were a couple months ago were just complete garbage. And then the economy also just sucked, you know? So tons and tons of people got laid off. Excuse me, I just had dinner. So tons of people got laid off. Tons of people, their job was, vanished. But the trucking industry stuck around, Yes, there was some bad times. Yes, they really did suck occasionally. But the trucking industry showed that, hey, that's an important part of the economy. That's probably not going to go south ever. So, I mean, really, I think there's like two areas, like medicine three, government, medicine, and trucking, I guess, maybe, right? None of those three suffered that bad. But anyways, the point remains the same, that maybe you are looking from the outside in, you got laid off from your job, or you're sick and fed up with your maybe garbage 9 to 5, and you're looking into hotshot trucking because you see the stability that it has provided through this crazy 2020 that we've had. So in this video, I want to break down three areas that maybe newbies overlook. And then I'm going to give you some helpful tips on how you can avoid some of those like newbie mistakes, right? So that's what we're going to do in this video. Now, in my opinion, the first thing that most new people overlook is the failure rate, okay? Guys, do not underestimate, do not take that lightly. The failure rate in trucking is extremely high. And it's not just trucking. What's the statistic? 80% of small businesses don't make it the first year or something like that, and then 80% of those don't make it to year 10, right? So understand that this, just like with most things, right? This is not hard. And many people have failed before you with the same ego and attitude that you probably had, saying, oh, I can get into this, oh, I can do this, no problem. Oh, how hard can it be? Trust me, it's hard. Do not underestimate the failure rate. And so I actually did a survey on my YouTube page, which came up with some mixed results and whatnot. So it was a good survey. I don't have it pulled up, but I'll show it right here on the screen. I thought the results would be much higher, that more people failed, but it looks like it's not that bad. And then I actually wanted to do some more deeper research. So when I used to do the hotshot news videos, I think I talked about a total of 56 channels. And so I wanted to go back and look and analyze which channels failed right in front of you guys, right? So it's which YouTube channels are no longer in hotshot, and there was really no way to verify or to accurately determine which ones are gone and which ones are not. But what I can say, right? What I can say is, if you are actually thinking about hotshot trucking, then what you can notice is consistently, probably about half the people that fail in hotshot, half of them upgrade, go get a CDL, or go drive a semi-truck. I really think it's right around there. So at least you can get into this business with peace of mind, knowing that you're not going to fail, because you have the opportunity to get a trucking job that can offer maybe some of the stability that you're looking for. And the goal is, I've heard some other people talk about, is you want to fail gracefully, right? I don't want to tell you don't try hotshot trucking, but understand that you're more than likely, you're probably going to fail. And so please understand, you want to fail gracefully. And so what that usually means is you got to be ready for a pivot. And the only way to guarantee that you have a pivot is, first of all, I would strongly recommend, right? This is those helpful tips I was talking about. Strongly recommend, even if you're thinking about doing non-CDL hotshot, I've mentioned this already numerous times. Guys, please go get your CDL. In the beginning of this year, in 2020, the new law was supposed to pass where you'd have to go study and do a bunch of, do an actual class. And that law got delayed. And so what that means is to go get your CDL right now, all you have to do is take 2 weeks, go download the free book, right? The Commercial Driver Handbook. You go download that for your state, and then you go study it, read it front to back, and then go take your test, your knowledge portion test. And then from there, you wait 2 weeks because that's usually a waiting period, 2 weeks. And then you go rent a semi. They can teach you a little bit. You pay a couple $100, and then you bring that to the actual test. So please understand, like getting your CDL will give you that opportunity to pivot when hotshot doesn't work out. So please, number one, go get your CDL. The second thing you can do to avoid failure is, guys, work hard. Like many people have noticed, right? I've been in this business now long enough, and I've been on YouTube now long enough where I have seen I have helped, companies or owner operators get into the business and then seen them later exit, right? And I asked them, hey, what's up? What happened? And it's the same thing. Alex, watching your videos and where you don't talk about like what sleeping in a pickup truck is actually like, then actually going out there and experiencing it is two totally different things. And so understand, guys, like I've tried to mention it often that, like, yes, I sleep in my truck and that is legal and you log off duty. And yes, I'm home, like I'm not home very rare. I'm home very rarely, goodness gracious. And I'm on the road a lot, but it's much easier just for you to listen to me say that I'm on the road 25, 27, 28 days on the road out of 30. But then for you actually to go to experience it is a totally different thing. So you got to make sure your family's on board, your significant other. You got to make sure you understand your situation, that like watching me do this job and then actually doing it is two totally different things. And so do not take lightly how much hard work goes into it. So don't underestimate that. Don't make that mistake. Go out there and set a goal for yourself. Hey, I have to do 100,000 miles this year, and then work your way backwards. That means every month I need to do at least 8,333 miles or something like that. So that means every week you have to do, or if you want to take 1 week off and you want, if you want to, every week that means you got to do 2,000 miles, right? Roughly. And so it's like, now knowing that if you do 100,000 miles at roughly $1.80, $2 a mile, you should be able to do about $200,000 gross revenue. Then you can go like, okay, great, I can plan my income from that. So understand, guys, like there's a legitimate amount of hard work that goes out to being on the road. Please do not take that like for granted, or don't take that lightly about like what it's like to spend time on the road. Now, the third thing that can help you avoid failure, I think, is being extremely OCD paranoid with your finances, okay? Now, this is probably the typical young person mistake. I just didn't keep track very well. I just whenever there was a problem, I just threw money at it, right? It's like, oh, the car broke down, throw some money at it. Buy a new car, switch it up, whatever, move on. Just take it and move on, right? Or it was just like, oh, this food here, pay for my buddy, pay for this. Like just sliding all the time. And that kind of loose attitude with finances can really set you back from quitting sooner, right? And so it's really, really like tough to be diligent, but also to be kind of nice about it, right? But the point remains the same, that guys, really, this is a top mistake that people make is, they go out there, they get a couple loads, they like, oh, hold on, I booked myself $4,000. And understand, guys, I'm going to talk about the profit later on. Understand when $4,000 hits your account, and that's more money you've made in a week than some people, like most people in a month. And it's like, hold on, $4,000 just hit my account from factoring. You forget that, hey, I need to set aside $300 for tires, for trailer payments, for this and this and this, because you start thinking like, oh, I'll just do that next week. I'll just run it hard again next week, and let me just enjoy some of these funds, right? And so you get really loose when a little bit of money starts coming in. So please, please, please keep extremely diligent track of your finances. That can help you avoid failure long term. It really can. All right, moving on. The second thing that most people underestimate or kind of overlook when getting, or most new people when getting into this business, guys, very simple: money. Okay, you like, I realize we're coming right off of the third one where I said keep diligent track of the finances, but the point remains the same, that money, guys, for like, I've done first of all, I've done many videos about money, but I did specifically, I just was looking back at my old videos and I found this video. I really think it's a fantastic resource, underappreciated, because I released it like probably many months ago, probably several years now. And so it's a fantastic resource that can really break down how much you could actually make out here. Now, I'm gonna link the video like right here, but the point remains the same, that if you make after taxes $60,000 or more, Hotshot trucking is not worth it for you unless you like absolutely hate your job. Because I mean, I can give you the math. Okay, here you go. So what happens is most Hotshots operate at about a 30% profitability. Go check out that video. Go check out the chart, and you'll see exactly what the profits are, how many miles, how much your rate per mile is. So you'll go see all of that. But most Hotshots, I really think it's about 30% profit margin. So what that means is, let's say your income, why I say $60,000, right? So let's say you want to replace your income, right? $60,000. Now your income is after tax. Keep in mind, when you're a business, you get a bunch of write-offs and stuff, all legal. CPA, good CPAs can help you pay very, very little in taxes actually. So now, let's do $60,000. You want to replace your income, but your profit margin is 30%. So that means you just do simple math, 60,000 times 3, that's 180,000. So keep in mind, to replace your current income, if you're making $60,000 or thereabout, if you're making that much money after tax, to replace your current income, you have to do $180,000 in gross revenue. Now, you might be thinking, Alex, that's not that hard because you've done more. Correct. But I want you to recall, I've done a video right here that in that video I talk about my first year revenue was 110. So, and that means I probably took home like 30,000 bucks, right? So like, when you're new, you just don't like put this into consideration. You really overlook the fact that it'll be hard to replace your current income. So that's why it's important to be diligent with your finances, like I said, but also make sure you have a little bit of a nest egg. Have some kind of money on the side so that you're not panicking booking freight just because you need something right now. So just do that simple math and you can figure out. Now, you might be thinking, Alex, okay, well, $180,000 a year, like that's achievable. Yes, it is, like on year 2 or 3 maybe, for sure. But how much is that per month? So when you do $180,000, divide that by 12 months, that gives you $15,000 a month, right? And I've done a survey on my Instagram before, a poll, and I asked like, how many miles do you do on average a month? And most people said they don't do over 10,000 miles a month. So if you figure that people do about 8,000 to 9,000 miles a month, they're grossing roughly 15,000. That's like at $1.80. And I would say those are like average numbers, so close to being accurate that it's frightening, right? But the point remains saying that, guys, like, please, please, please do not overlook the fact that your first year is going to be rough, and please plan ahead and plan accordingly, because you're going to have to dip into your reserves, because you just won't make that much like getting out there right away. So that's why I do say, like, if you make over 60K, really reconsider and do try to look into something else, because then your gross becomes so high that it's unattainable at a regular like pace or rate. You know what I mean? Like, the economy has to be really good and in your favor for that to happen. So the higher your cost of living, essentially, the more money you need to make, the harder it is to replace that income. like year one. So just keep that in mind, please. All right, moving on. The third and final thing that newbies underestimate or don't know is knowledge, right? So let me explain. Like, I'm new and I don't know knowledge. It's like, okay, so maybe resources. Maybe that when you're new, you don't have the resources when someone has like some experience, right? And that's actually what I've been trying to do, with this channel, right? I want it to be a really good resource for you guys. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel because, I try to do like exclusively Hotshot videos. I realize sometimes I mix in a couple things in here and there, but I try to consistently do Hotshot videos. So make sure you subscribe. The second resource is actually, I just started a Facebook group, right? Now, I don't want you just to trust my opinion. Maybe my opinion is useless or it's incorrect. I don't know. But the new Facebook group, I believe it's like facebook.com/groups Tow Piglet or Hotshot Tow Piglet. I think that's what the link is. I'll put it down below. So go check out the group, guys. You can ask people how they do things, and the goal with that group is I just want it to be like a really helpful area for hotshots just to bounce ideas off of or just to learn. So there's the Facebook group. The third resource that I have for you guys is Instagram messages. Guys, anytime you send me a DM, it does get responded to, guys. It absolutely will. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen right away, right? You guys got to be patient. I need some time. It's hard for me to keep up with all of them and whatnot, but the point remains the same, that I definitely try to make sure that each one gets a response, okay? Now, the fourth thing that the fourth resource that I can give you guys is the checklist, right? It's the everything you need to Hotshot checklist. It's free. It's just a spreadsheet that I put everything on instead of you guys having to go watch videos. It's literally just all on there. So guys, understand, like, some of the stuff on the list, like, I didn't even know I needed, like some of the stuff that I recently added, like franchise tax. Apparently you're supposed to pay franchise tax in like 22 states. I don't know what those states are. I'm sure there's like a minimum requirement of how much you're supposed to do in revenue, but there's been trucking companies getting sued in New Jersey and stuff like that because they didn't pay franchise tax in New Jersey. So there's just so many laws and stuff to keep track. So some of the stuff on there, like you really don't. It may not apply to you, and you don't have to like freak out about not doing it. But keep in mind that having a checklist where everything is there, that's what it's there for, right? And the fifth and final resource that I've been trying to give to you guys, or get out so you guys could start using and taking advantage of, is the connections page on towpiglet.com. It's where, if you are an owner operator you want to lease on, you go try that, sign up, and companies will reach out to you, and then you can kind of make a decision on who you want to go with. And of course, if you're a company and you want to lease on an owner operator, there you go, throw your hat in the ring, have them, maybe lease under you as well. So the point remains the same, guys, that, all of these resources, I've been trying to just make it easier to get into this business, like for very, very little cost, right? I'm not trying to sell any courses or anything like that. So it's like really, really practical things that can help. But the other thing is, and the reason I bring all these up is because, there's little things that you may experience on the road that isn't worthwhile making a video for. And so that's why having the Facebook group or with knowledgeable people in there, or having maybe, an Instagram message that you can ask and like those types of things are really, really crucial, and things that you really, if you're newer to opening your own business, you might not know about, right? It's like, I didn't know that, I just opened a new LLC, and LegalZoom sent me all the paperwork and whatnot in this like nice binder. And, that's it, dude. LegalZoom is fantastic. It's a little more expensive, but it's fantastic, and I don't have to deal with any of the headache. And it's like, when I first started, I didn't know LegalZoom. My first 3 LLCs I opened by myself, and it was cheap, and I would be sitting at the computer frustrated. What do I do? Because government websites always suck. And so it's like these types of situations, like there's many hiccups along the way, and being able to just quickly search or ask that maybe in a certain community is like, I think is really, really crucial. Not to mention breakdowns on the road. Who do you call? How do you fix it? That's why I try to document all my breakdowns as well. You know what I mean? I really try to show that when things go south, here's the mistakes I made and stuff like that. And that's the type of things that I'm talking about when I talk about knowledge. It's just you like, it's impossible impossible to prepare for every possible little thing that'll happen in this business. It's really impossible. So being able to quickly somehow find that information is extremely beneficial. So anyways, goodness gracious, I felt like I covered that one for a long time, so I'm sorry. But moving on. All right, so let's wrap it up, guys. You know, it's like at the end of the day, is Hotshot great? You know, I really do think it is awesome. And, you know, there's many options for you as long as you avoid some of these newbie pitfalls, right? So it's like, is it great? Yes, it is. Can you make decent money? Absolutely. But keep in mind, decent is relative. You know, 50,000 for somebody might be garbage for somebody else. And like, can you make it pretty quick? Honestly, I think so. You know, it's like, because you don't have to worry about getting customers or business, you can just go sign up for the Loadboard. The money does start coming in rather quickly. It's not like opening a restaurant. You don't know if someone's going to come in or not, right? It's not like that. So can you make the money quick? Yes. But if you have a decent job and you're quitting your decent job and you want to replace your income, keep in mind it will take about 2 years. So if replacing your income with a business in 2 years is fast, then yes, you can make money in Hotshot pretty fast. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it. I really look forward to hearing what you guys did. I missed something. What else is something that new people overlook? Can you leave that all in the comments down below? And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.